Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back once again. I'm Nicodemus Kane. Today is December the 13th of 2021. It is early, of course, as always. Um, Today we are on Psalm 68, and we knew eventually that we were going to get to a long psalm, and this is a long one. This is almost 2 full pages, and I haven't really read through this, so this is going to be me reading it as I go. Um, this might be one of those long videos. You know how these work. If you've come around here before, if not, then just know that I have been compelled to read uh, Psalms, and that we usually talk about them. Sometimes these videos go for 15 minutes, sometimes these videos go for 50 minutes, so it just depends. So, let me get my water ready here, because I might need it for this one. I don't know. But this is Psalm 68. This is to the chief musician, a psalm or song of David. Okay. Let God arise. Let his enemies be scattered. Let them also that hate him flee before him. As smoke is driven away, so drive them away. As wax melteth before the fire, so let the wicked perish at the presence of God. But let the righteous be glad. Let them rejoice before God. Yea, let them exceedingly rejoice. Sing unto God. Sing praises to his name. Extol him that rideth upon the heavens by his name Yah, and rejoice before him. A father of the fatherless, and a judge of the widows, is God in his holy habitation. God setteth the solitary in families. He bringeth out those which are bound with chains, but the rebellious dwell in a dry land. O God, when thou wentest forth before thy people, when thou didst march through the wilderness, Selah, the earth shook, the heavens also dropped at the presence of God. Even Sinai itself was moved at the presence of God, the God of Israel. Thou, O God, didst send a plentiful rain, whereby thou didst confirm thine inheritance when it was weary. Thy congregation hath dwelt therein. Thou, O God, hast prepared of thy goodness for the poor. The Lord gave the word. Great was the company of those that published it. Kings of armies did flee apace, and she that tarried at home divided the spoil. Though ye have lain among the pots, yet shall ye be as the wings of a dove covered with silver, and her feathers with yellow gold. When the Almighty scattered kings in it, it was white as snow and salmon. The hill of God is as the hill of Bashan, an high hill as the hill of Bashan. Why leap ye, ye high hills? This is the hill which God desireth to dwell in. Yea, the Lord will dwell in it forever. The chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place. Thou hast ascended on high. Thou hast led captivity captive. Thou hast received gifts of men, yea, for the rebellious also, that the Lord God might dwell among them. Blessed be the Lord, who daily loadeth us with benefits, even the God of our salvation, Selah. He that is our God is the God of salvation, and unto God the Lord belong the issues from death. But God shall wound the head of his enemies, and the hairy scalp of such an one as goeth on still in his trespasses. I'll read that one again, because it didn't come out right. But God shall wound the head of his enemies, and the hairy scalp of such an one as goeth on still in his trespasses. Still didn't come out right. I'm sorry. The Lord said, I will bring again from Bashan. I will bring my people again from the depths of the sea, that thy foot may be dipped in the blood of thine enemies, and the tongue of thy dogs in the same. They have seen thy goings, O God, even the goings of my God, my King in the sanctuary. The singers went before, the players on instruments followed after. Among them were the damsels playing with timbrels. Bless ye God in the congregations, even the Lord from the fountain of Israel. There is little Benjamin with their ruler, the princes of Judah and their council, the princes of Zebulun and the princes of Naphtali. Thy God hath commanded thy strength. Strengthen, O God, that which thou hast wrought before us. Because of thy temple at Jerusalem shall kings bring presents unto thee. Rebuke the company of spearmen, the multitude of the bulls, with the calves of the people, till every one submit himself with pieces of silver. Scatter thou the people that delight in war. Princes shall come out of Egypt. Ethiopia shall soon stretch out her hands unto God. Sing unto God, ye kingdoms of the earth. O sing praises unto the Lord. Selah. To him that rideth upon the heaven of heavens, which are of old, lo, he doth send out his voice, and that a mighty voice. Ascribe ye strength unto God. His excellency is over Israel, and his strength is in the clouds. O God, thou art terrible out of thy holy places. The God of Israel is he that giveth strength and power unto his people. Blessed be God. Amen. Wow. That was a lot all at once. Okay, hold on a second. 1 second. Give me some dead space so I can take care of my nose because it's starting to get crazy. And I almost had a sneezing fit there. I had to kind of stop it. So give me 1 second. It's amazing, though. There we go. It's amazing, though, for all of that, it only took 7 minutes to read. Maybe even less than that. Maybe even 6 minutes to read. But wow. I was not ready to read that much this morning. And they get longer from here. It like between... In between the Psalms, like, the 60s through like maybe the 80s or 90s, they get a little long, and then they kind of shorten up. And then I know that once you hit, what is it? 119? 119 is the one where there is one verse for each letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Is that right? It's like 20 verses inside of a verse. It's crazy. But yeah, no, they get like super long, and I'm gonna have to figure out how to chop that one up whenever we get to that point, because I don't know if I could do all of it at once. But then you've got, it starts getting smaller again on the other side of 119. It starts getting smaller. There's Psalm 134. I'm looking at it right now. It has 3 verses, so there you go. But this one was kind of long. It got a little confusing too, even as I read it. So we're going to go through it. I wanted to talk about some other things, but if we talk about nothing but this, we will talk about nothing but this, because that is what God needs me to do. So let's start back at the beginning. Let God arise, let his enemies be scattered, and let them also that hate him flee before him. As smoke is driven away, so drive them away. As wax melteth before the fire, so let the wicked perish at the presence of God. But let the righteous be glad, let them rejoice before God. Yea, let them exceedingly rejoice. Sing unto God, sing praises to his name. Extol him that rideth upon the heavens by his name Yah, and rejoice before him. It's extremely straightforward. And there are several things, several different wordplay things that are coming up that I think we need to go back over. The father of the fatherless and a judge of the widows is God in his holy habitation. God setteth the solitary in families. He bringeth out those which are bound with chains, but the rebellious dwell in a dry land. God setteth the solitary in families. O God, when thou wentest forth before thy people, when thou didst march through the wilderness, Selah, the earth shook, the heavens also dropped at the presence of God. Even Sinai itself was moved at the presence of God, the God of Israel. Thou, O God, didst send a plentiful rain, whereby thou didst confirm thine inheritance when it was weary. The congregation hath dwelt therein. Thou, O God, hast prepared of thy goodness for the poor. The meek shall inherit the earth. The Lord gave the word. Great was the company of those that published it. Kings of armies did flee apace, and she that tarried at home divided the spoil. Though ye have lain among the pots, yet shall ye be as the wings of a dove covered with silver, and her feathers with yellow gold. There's probably something there that I'm missing, but we'll keep going. Because whenever they talk about stuff like that, the wings of a dove covered with silver and her feathers with yellow gold, there's probably some kind of symbology there that we don't understand, and I'd probably have to go look it up to find out. When the Almighty scattered kings in it, it was white as snow and salmon, or salmon. That's salmon. It's a good one. Salmon. It was white as snow and salmon. When the Almighty scattered kings in it, though ye have lain in the pots, yet ye shall be as the wings of a dove covered with silver, and her feathers with yellow gold. When the Almighty scattered kings in it, it was white as snow and salmon. And it's not salmon, it's capitalized. This is the name of a city. The hill of God is as the hill of Bashan, and a high hill as the hill of Bashan. Do you know why that's very particular? Because Bashan was a land of giants, as in Og of Bashan, or Og, however you want to say it. The hill of God is as the hill of Bashan. We're talking about the highest hill. Because these are big hills. Because the Canaanites that lived in Bashan were the remnants of the giants, that genetic code that came over that created the giants, the men of old, the mighty men of old. Why leap ye high hills? This is the hill which God desireth to dwell in. Yea, the Lord will dwell in it forever. The chariots of gods are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place. Again, there's something there that I'm missing. These are the things that you need to go and find out. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place. This actually it links back to Deuteronomy 33:2. Let's go check that out. Why not? Deuteronomy is after Exodus. Or is it before Exodus? Come on now. Genesis, Exodus. It's the last of the 5. Isn't it Numbers, Deuteronomy? There it is. What did I say it was? 33:2. See, my Bible has links. Not every one of these links are perfect. And there are some links that I'm missing that I need to start writing in. Because there were a couple things that we found that I said, this links up to something that Christ said. But this Bible doesn't do that. 33:2. And this is the blessing. This is Deuteronomy 33. And this is the blessing wherewith Moses, the man of God, blessed the children of Israel before his death. And he said, The Lord came from Sinai and rose up from Seir unto them. He shined forth from Mount Paran, and he came with 10,000s of saints. Oh. From his right hand went a fiery law for them. And of course, that leads to 3 other things. The interesting one I see here, though, is Revelation 5:11. I wonder what that. I know, I'm going all over the book. Revelation 4. Revelation 5:11. Always take everything in context. So the verse before, and hast made us unto our God kings, priests, and we shall reign on the earth. All right, here's 5:11. And I beheld and heard the voice of many angels round about the throne, and the beasts of the elders, and the number of them was 10,000 times 10,000, and thousands of thousands, saying with a loud voice, Worthy is the Lamb that was slain to receive power, and riches, and wisdom, and strength, and honor, and glory, and blessing. So that is an actual provable number. The chariots of gods are 20,000, even thousands of angels. And then it goes back to this one, just saying he came with 10,000s of saints. And then it comes over here, and it says the number of them was 10,000 times 10,000 and thousands of thousands. And so it's at least 10,000. Actual provable numbers. Where was I? Oh yeah, there we are. Thou hast ascended on high, and there were like three other places I could have looked, but I'm not gonna go hunting all over the Bible to be able to prove something that's already proven to me 3 times. Verse 18, this, thou hast ascended on high, thou hast led captivity captive. Thou hast led captivity captive. Thou hast received gifts of men, or gifts for men, yea, for the rebellious also, that the Lord might dwell among them. Thou hast ascended on high, thou hast led captivity captive. Thou hast received gifts for men, yea, for the rebellious also, that the Lord God might dwell among them. Blessed be the Lord, who daily loadeth us with benefits, even the God of our salvation. Selah. He that is our God is the God of salvation, and unto God the Lord belong the issues from death. But God shall wound the head of his enemies, and the hairy scalp of such an one as goeth on still in his trespasses. I actually said it right that time. Because the first 2 times I couldn't get it right. But God shall wound the head of his enemies, and the hairy scalp of such an one as goeth on still in his trespasses. If you keep going on the things that you're not supposed to be doing, God shall wound the head. It shall wound your head and the head of his enemies. Pretty much is what it's saying. The Lord said, I will bring again from Bashan, I will bring my people again from the depths of the sea, that thy foot may be dipped in the blood of thine enemies, and the tongue of thy dogs in the same. They have seen thy goings, O God, even the goings of my God, my King in the sanctuary. The singers went before, the players on instruments followed after. Among them were the damsels playing with timbrels, similar to, I think it was whenever they, was it when the Israelites finally defeated everybody, and was it when they built the temple? I think it was when they built the temple, and they had a huge party because of it. Bless ye God in the congregations, even the Lord from the fountain of Israel. Wait, was it? It was Chronicles, because it says First Chronicles. So that must have been whenever they brought the ark in. Had to have been. It's the Chronicles of the Kings. Because it's Judges Chronicles, isn't it? No, it's not Judges and Chronicles. Where is it? It's Kings and Chronicles. I know. Again, I am not the most perfect person when it comes to reading the Bible. I can usually find the ideas that I'm looking for, and I can find the verses if you give me enough time. But I can't say verse for verse. Okay. Chronicles 13:8, but we're going on before it. And they carried the ark of God in a new cart out of the house of Abinadab, and Uzzah and Ahio drave the cart. Not drove, drave the cart. And David and all Israel played before God with all their might, and with singing, and with harps, and with psalteries, and with timbrels, and with cymbals, and with trumpets. That is where I heard it before. Yes, that was whenever they brought the ark back in the. That was when they brought the ark back to Jerusalem. Okay, anyways, where am I at? 26. Bless ye God in the congregations, even the Lord, from the foundation of Israel. There is little Benjamin with their ruler, the princes of Judah and their council, the princes of Zebulun and the princes of Naphtali. Thy God hath commanded thy strength. Strengthen, O God, that which thou hast wrought for us. Because of thy temple at Jerusalem shall kings bring presents unto thee. Rebuke the company of spearmen, the multitude of the bulls, with the calves of the people. Spearmen, the multitude of the bulls, with the calves of the people. Till every one submit himself with pieces of silver. Scatter thou the people that delight in war. Princes shall come out of Egypt. Ethiopia shall soon stretch out her hands unto God. Sing unto God, ye kingdoms of the earth. Sing praises unto the Lord. Selah. To him that rideth upon the heaven of heavens, which were of old, lo, he doth send out his voice, and that a mighty voice. Ascribe ye strength unto God. His excellency is over Israel, and his strength is in the clouds. O God, thou art terrible out of thy holy places. The God of Israel is he that giveth strength and power unto his people. Blessed be God. Once again, amen. Sometimes it helps to go back a second time and reread the whole thing, because there are things that you miss the first time through. I think I blow my nose again. Oh, smokes. I kicked up a fair amount of dust this weekend, cleaning my room a little bit. We're still not. I mean, we've been in a house since what? September? August? September? Well, no, September. About the middle of September. and we're still not like completely moved in. That's how bad it is. We're still. I'm probably 90% there, maybe 90% there. I just, you know, with the work, and the overtime and all that, and just not really worried about if I get it done or not. I've just kind of left stuff in boxes. So I've been this weekend. I had a lot of free time. It's amazing how much free time you get if you just take a day off. It was so good. I still, unfortunately, I wanted to sleep like for 10 hours, but I just couldn't. It irked me a little bit. But I woke up Saturday, actually did some yard work. Or Friday, I took that day off and I got up and did yard work, if you can believe it. I know. I woke up and I did work on my day off. But no, I wanted to get a lot of stuff done around the house, so that's what I did. Was I got stuff done around the house, and I don't know if it's because we brought all the dust with us inside of boxes, or it's because this house has its own dust that it has been kicking off. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking it's the dust that we pulled from the house, or I mean, it could also be that this the furnace, the way that this house is set up, is that it kind of deposits all the dust in the basement before it goes back into the furnace. I don't know, but just the entire basement. I know I've said this before. The entire basement is covered with this layer of dust. Just everything. More than I think should be in here. I mean, the amount of dust that we have in here now was like the equivalent of a year or two at the old house. I got it here within 3 months. It's a lot. It's just so much. And it's like everything you touch, you just kick stuff up, and it's everywhere. It's just constant. And I think it's finally starting to die down. And again, I think it's just because we were opening boxes and just kicking it up. But what is here, I've been having to wipe everything off, and you wipe it off, and you're just like, how did things get so dusty? It's just crazy. It's what it is. I mean, we wiped a lot of stuff off, but holy smokes, there's so much dust. I don't know. Anyways, 28 minutes in. All right. And I've got about 20 minutes before I got to log in. I wanted to talk because every year I kind of call out Christmas. A lot of people don't like to talk about it, and hey, you don't have to talk about it. That's entirely on you. I'm going to go on record right now, though, about my thoughts on Christmas because I don't celebrate. There is nothing that I can find whatsoever. I've looked, and if somebody else can find it, if somebody else can prove it, that first of all, that we're even supposed to celebrate birthdays, or that we're even supposed to celebrate the birth of Christ. If somebody could point that out to me, please, absolutely, let me know. We're not, as far as I understand it, we're to celebrate the resurrection of Christ because it was through that he proved to us that he is the Christ, he is the Father. It was in that moment. It's not, just because he was born and, in some manger somewhere. It was not because of that. It was because he beat death and absolved us of our sins. That's how I'm supposed to, that's how it's supposed to work, yeah? Isn't that the understanding of it? But first, you have to prove to me that we're supposed to celebrate birthdays. Secondly, interestingly though, the uh, the internet is on. Okay, the people that actually do celebrate birthdays. I don't want to know Anton LaVey's. Here's from the Church of Satan itself. Oh, that's nice. What holidays do Satanists celebrate? Since Satanism is a self-centered religion, they even say it themselves, the highest holiday of the year would be the Satanist's own birthday, which needs no ritual but should be spent in doing things a Satanist would enjoy. Uh-huh. It goes on. It goes on to say, Halloween's one that you should probably, because there's no requirements that a Satanist celebrate any holidays, even though Satanists love Christmas because it's self-serving. Because Christmas is self-serving. Because you're not only are you giving stuff away to make yourself feel better, but you're getting stuff. The Christians stole this holiday from the pagans, absolutely. And actually, no, I wouldn't say Christians stole the. I'm reading it. This is Church of Satan, man. I can't even. I don't even want to be on there anymore. But no, we didn't really steal it from the pagans so much as there were pagans that were inside of Christianity that conformed it to Christian beliefs is what it was. That's the whole problem with Christmas, man, and Easter, and it's just the whole yeah. So, anyways, every year, I try to drop those seeds. Um, just like this year, I dropped some seeds in some people's ears, and man, nobody likes it whenever you start calling out their Christmas. I got to blow my nose again. Hold on a second. Nobody likes it when you call out Christmas. They get so super upset. They will. You talk about the great gnashing of teeth, or the mocking, and whatever else, and man, that just, and they'll throw it back on you. I I I don't want to say I picked a fight, but I picked a fight because when you try to tell, when you try to say, I don't remember what the original post that this person posted. It was something along the lines of, they were sitting at home and their dog was laying on their tree, and they went out of their way to show how nice their tree was, and then they had a one of the truther pastors that kind of popped up within the past couple of years. Um, One of the guys from Hawaii. I don't remember who it is. I've seen a couple of things he's done. I've listened to him, and he seems to he's a truther. He's one of those that's like, don't do this, don't do that, don't trust your government. At the same time, on the background of it, you can hear him whenever he's saying, but we're going to do this way, we're going to do this that way, and you're just like, okay, you're telling about 50% truth, but then it's the wolves in sheep clothing, wolf and sheep's clothing kind of thing. Um, where it's those that will give you just enough to get you through, but it's not the truth. It's just not the truth. So I said, if the dude was really telling you the truth, he'd tell you to take the tree down. And that started it. Ooh, that started it. Um, and they haven't gotten angry yet. I've been, it's been pretty calm. Not like, other times where I've been called an idiot and a moron. And believe me, I've been, people don't like it whenever you tell them not to lie to their children. Whenever people are saying, Santa Claus did this or Santa Claus did that, and it's like, you know what, Santa Claus isn't real. I guess people don't like that either. You know what, man, people you take away their traditions, or you speak against their traditions, and oh man, they will. But I told somebody else that Santa Claus isn't real, or I put it on a group thing or something. Santa Claus isn't real. Quit lying to your kids. I was called a piece of shit, or no, I was told to go eat shit. That's what it was, and I was like, well, that's your loss, I guess. Man, they get dirty. They get dirty. I mean, when you try to, it's like it's just indoctrination. But I kept kind of telling this person, uh, they came back on me with, it doesn't. It's always the same arguments. Is I'm not going to go to hell because I put up a tree. That you can't judge me. You're being very judgmental about me putting up a tree. And I say the same things over and over. So I can't judge you. I can't judge you. Only the Father can judge you. Only God can judge you. Even though that's not entirely true either, because we're going to be judged by the saints. So, it's not entirely true for me to say that I can't judge you. At the same time, though, it's my thing has always been I can't judge you, but God will judge you. He will judge you based upon what you do. Now, will you go and burn in the eternal lake of fire because you celebrated Christmas? I can't say. That's for him to judge. It's not for me to judge. All I can do is tell you that the Bible very specifically tells you not to follow the ways of the heathens. But people just don't seem to understand that. There was another one today that had come to the rescue of the first person that they said, it's not going to matter. You're not going to be the one that goes to hell because they put up a Christmas tree. But you will go to hell because you're being judgmental and you're leading. What was that? It was. I don't want to look it up. I don't want to look it up. It was about me taking away the joy of one of the brethren. Something similar to that effect. And then they told me to go try to save the lost and not try to save the saved. And I stopped and said, I will be judged because I didn't warn you, not because of what I'm saying. I would be judged based upon the fact that I did not warn you. If I did not tell you, if I did not try to reprove you, because we've all been lied to. I don't know how many times I say that. I say that a million times. We've all been lied to. We've all had the worst doctrine possible thrown into our ears. The soft things that tickle our ears. We have not been told the truth whatsoever. And we've had hundreds and hundreds of years of this now. But if I had not told you that you were deceived, that would be, their blood would be on my hands. It's that I have to warn them. I have to tell them that this is a thing. So if I hadn't done that, that would be on me. So you can't. I'm not taking away somebody's, what do you want to call it, enjoyment of it. If you're enjoying it, hey, you have a blast with that. But the Father does not enjoy that. God does not enjoy that. There's a place in the Bible where God says that He despises your songs. He despises your holy days. He despises the things that you do because they're not what He wants. They're not of Him. They're of the traditions of men. The Bible makes it pretty darn clear that we're supposed to follow His ways, what He wants for us. And if we don't follow that, He's going to be pretty upset about it. Will you go and burn in a lake and fire at the end of time? Will you be judged for that? I don't know. All I know is that if you don't follow the Word of God, you will be judged. That's going to be on you. If you don't want to believe that, read your Bible. Open it up. Because all I can do is warn you. And you're going to have to make that judgment on your own. I'm just trying to help people here. At the very least, I am trying to open people's eyes up to the lies of this world. That's what I've been doing since the very beginning, is trying to expose the lies that we have been subjected to our entire lives. Because it's all fake now. It's all crap. But but it's every year. Every year it's the same old thing, you know. You try to point it out. You try to show it. You try to say, look, you can feed them verse after verse after verse, and it doesn't matter. They don't care. They don't care because they want to have that feeling. They want to follow their hearts. That's the other big thing too. God knows my heart. God knows what I like. He knows my motives. God knows your motives. God knows your heart. He also knows that the heart of man can be wicked and can be easily manipulated. My heart's not perfect. I've said that so many times. I'm not a perfect human being. I have my faults. I still have my faults, and I struggle with that every single day. So I am no better than anybody else. And I have my own things that I have to reprove myself on constantly, over and over and over. And I cannot talk to you about that stuff. I cannot reprove you in the sins that I am having problems with myself. I cannot do that because I have to work on that. What I can do, what the Bible says I can do, is I can tell you of the sins that you are committing that I have walked away from. You see how that works? I have walked away from the traditions and the holidays of this world because I see them for what they are. They are lies. They are manipulative. The holidays of this world are idolatry. They cause you to focus on things other than God. They cause you to focus on things other than Christ. Especially Christmas. Especially Christmas. It is so self-serving and so vain. Everything is vanity. What part of that do you not understand? Everything that man does is vanity. Everything that man does that goes against God is self-serving. Who likes to be self-serving? Who is it? I just read it there. What is a self-serving religion? Satanism. Satan wants you to be self-serving. Satan wants you to love yourself more than you love God. And if you are too busy buying presents for yourself, hoping that you can get presents for yourself. And think about little kids. Think about what little kids go through. That the first thing they do is you lie to them and tell them that there's some jolly little fat man up in the North Pole of all places that watches them 24/7. Old Nick, we call him good old Saint Nick, even though the term Old Nick is a name for the devil himself. That was something that happened recently. I don't remember exactly when I looked that up. Let me. Sorry, I just snuck right in your. I don't want old Nickelodeon shows. What the heck was I looking up? Holy smokes! Old Nick definition. Old Nick definition. Seriously, Google this. Old Nick, N-I-C-K definition. Definition of Old Nick. Used as a name for the devil, or of the devil, for the devil. Old Nick. Good old Saint Nick. They sainted, not knighted. They sainted Nick. You know, they sainted good old Saint Nick. Old Nick. It's a name for the devil. Santa is an anagram for Satan. What? Are you people blind? Are you people blind? What is wrong with you people? But anyway, this is what the kids go through. The first thing you do to your child is you tell them a lie. That's the worst. Don't lie to your kids. You're gonna base the basis of your relationship with your child. The first thing you're gonna do is teach them a lie. I mean, not just the lies of this world, but the first thing Santa Claus, really, and people continue that lie. They wait until their kids find out on their own, you know, and then it's like. You think just because your kid found out that Santa Claus wasn't real, that kid's not going to harbor any kind of spite against you because of it? Bullshit. I'm sorry, excuse my language, but seriously, bullshit. Dude, man, don't lie to your children. How hard of a concept is that? Tell them the truth. If you have to tell them the truth, then tell them the truth. Tell them that it's just a marketing ploy that they use to sell toys to kids at Christmas, or they use to manipulate children into being good all year. Oh, if you're not good, Santa Claus won't bring you any presents. It's pretty amazing whenever you say that, you know. Whenever you say that Santa Claus only comes one time a year, and he really only starts watching you around November and December. Oh, you better be good, or Santa Claus won't bring any presents. Yeah, but I don't hear you talk about Santa Claus whenever it's March or April. No, in March or April, you're usually trying to sell me friggin' fertility eggs and, you know, the blood of virgins. So don't even give me that crap. We go into that one later. That one drives me up a wall, too. Sorry, I'm logging into my computer. But don't lie to your kids. Santa Claus is not real. Santa Claus is just another way to sell Satan. Even Lucifer comes as an angel of light. But it's not just even that. It's not just that lie. It's compounded upon the lie of Christ being born in December. Christ was not born in December. I cannot give you a definite date, but I personally think it was around the fall. That's just me. But it wasn't December 25th. These people have narrowed it down. You really think that when Joseph and Mary were out in the wilderness, or were out in the manger, sorry, wilderness, or out in the major that they stopped and said, "Hey, what's the date on the calendar?" You know, um, are we going by the Julian calendar now? Or are we going by the Gregorian calendar now? Tell me, what is it? Like you can really, and people believe it too. People are like, "Oh yeah, well, everybody's narrowed it down to when it was this exact day because this and this and that is that." And it's like, no, that's not how this worked. There is nothing in the Bible, there's nothing scripturally, there's nothing secular about it at all. You've been fed this because it was co opted into pagan rituals in order to get the pagans to try to come to Christianity. And that never happened. What happened is they let the pagans in, told them that they could keep their holidays, and the pagans changed Christianity. It wasn't that we brought them in and we got them to, follow the Bible, follow the ways of God. It went the other way. They came in and they got into places of power and they changed Christianity to fit their needs. They said, "Hey, we can still worship all this stuff and we can get everybody else to worship all this stuff too. All we have to do is change names and change dates." And that's what they did. Christ was not born in the middle of the deadest season. He was not born in the middle of death. That's not how it works. He was born during an ingathering. That's what it says in the Bible. There are feasts of God. God gave us feasts when we are supposed to do specific things. Now I've always thought that, oh man, I got like 20 emails. That's awesome. But I always thought that, he would have been born in the spring because it just makes sense. You're born in spring and everything goes through like that. But no, he wasn't born in spring. It was the way that the Bible talks about it, the way that the there was a feast that they had to be in Jerusalem for, Joseph and Mary. They had to be there for that. There are two feasts where you have to be there for that. One of them is the one in, oh man, don't do this to me. One is the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and then the other one that you have to present yourself for is the Feast of Tabernacles. And the Feast of Tabernacles works extremely well for what happened. I'm not going to go into all that. I actually went into that somewhere else too. But they just emails. What is this email nonsense? I got so much garbage I got to go through now. But it's just another part of the lie. It's a lie on top of a lie. And to lie to your children, to say that's what it is. And what's worse is that people will fight you about the Christ thing too. So, oh, it's Christmas, don't you know? Even though the word Christmas is a Christ mass and a mass is a death, so it is celebrating the death of Christ over and over again. The whole thing. And again, you can point the stuff out. And I can't go into all the details because I'm running out of time. It's like 5:49. I got to log in at 6 o'clock. There's so much I could talk about just on this alone. And I think I've done this. I think I've done a video of this somewhere. But, man, people will they'll fight for it. Christmas is the worst. Christmas is the absolute worst. And it's just this, it's about greed. It's about stress. The holiday itself at the very core of it is about greed, because you're spending money to try to make other people happy. You're giving them material things. It's that whole it's the whole concept of don't store your treasures up on this world. Don't be a part of this world. Don't love the things of this world. What do you do in Christmas? You love the things of this world. You ask Satan to give you you ask the lie to give you things of this world. You ask the weird white-haired pedophile dressed up in a red suit to give you toys. You sit on his lap. You sit on his lap just like they used to put babies. They used to sacrifice babies on the lap of statues. Don't you get it? It's it is such a nightmare. It is such an absolute nightmare. And it it's even just saying that it's something you shouldn't do is enough for just everybody to come at you. And they come out with teeth bared, and they got their claws out, and they're ready to tear you up one side and down another. And it's just like, all I'm trying to do is warn you. All I'm trying to do is tell you that God himself told us not to do these things. Even if you want even if you want to go do the whole gift giving thing, to be nice, to be, to be Christian on one day of the year, whenever we're supposed to be Christian 365 days out of the year. I don't see you going out and spending all this money on presents, in the middle of June. I don't see you doing this. Except maybe on your birthday. You know who celebrates birthdays, don't you? Satanists. Because that's their birthday. That's their self-centered day that they get to have for themselves. Don't talk to me about being Christian. All right? We're supposed to warn each other. We're supposed to have faith. We're supposed to have love. We're supposed to have all these things. But you only choose to do it maybe twice a year, once on Christmas and once on Easter, and you think that absolves you. That's vanity. That's vanity. Satanists even say that they celebrate Christmas, guys. Come on. And yes, I'm pissed. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little angry at it. You know why I'm angry at it? Because I was lied to just like everybody else. Because it bothers me just like it should bother everybody else. Because I spent my entire life in this system, and everything is a lie, and it makes me upset. It makes me mad. And I can be mad. There's a time for love and there's a time for hate. And I'm getting pretty hateful because it's all a lie. But when it comes to this stuff, there's so much. There's so much. There's so much proof that we should not be even considering Christmas as a viable as a viable holiday. We should turn away from this. Come out of Babylon. Come on out. It's a lot better out here. It really is. I am going to come out in January. I'm going to come out about $300 with more money in my pocket. I'm going to come out feeling a lot better. I'm not going to be stressed. I'm not going to be worrying about if I got the right gift for anybody. I'm not going to be feeling self-centered and bloated in my ego because I bought the perfect gift or that I got the perfect gift. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be living my life, and I'm going to be happy because that's what God wants. God wants us to be happy. He doesn't want us to be spoiled. being, following the narrow path and coming back to God as a child does not mean that you get to be spoiled. It means that you have to come back to Him as a child. And you have to come back to Him with your innocence. You can't. I'm getting too overworked on this, and I got to go back to work, and I have to go to work, and oh, what the heck! Of course, my login system was probably broken. That's awesome. Oh, the whole thing's broken. That's great. That's good stuff. Shh, close it down. Try again. our new the people that do our time cards changed, and ever since they changed to these new people, nothing has ever run right. So, oh man, now it's taking everything a long time to load. Oh, I lost the internet. Oh, why did I lose my internet? Oh crap. Is this still running? Nope, my internet's down. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's so great. That's just perfect. I'm still talking to you because I don't need the internet to run my OBS, which is nice, but I don't. Let me see here. I might have to go upstairs and see if my modem. This would be like the way that it is, is to have my modem reset itself right before I have to go to work. And I didn't even get a chance to clock in either, so I'm going to have to send my supervisor an email. Wonderful. Just absolutely wonderful. Well, even if apparently I've got time to be able to talk about this because my internet's down. Even if you still want to do the gift giving thing, even if you still want to do the getting together for, family parties or whatever, you still should not have a tree in your house. And I don't know how many times I have to point that out. Because the Bible's very specific on that. If you don't know where that is, it's Jeremiah 10. I had to be reminded the other day because I thought it was Jeremiah 8, but it's Jeremiah 10. Jeremiah 10. And it's very clear. It's really clear. If you cannot understand what Jeremiah 10, just the first 5 verses, if you cannot understand the first 5 verses of Jeremiah 10, then you definitely are confused about about Christmas, about the holidays of this year. You definitely are not following the ways of God. This is God talking directly to Jeremiah. Okay, the internet's finally back on. Good. Yeah, it must have turned off and turned stuff back on. It must have just reset. Hopefully, I can get in here and clock in before it punks out again. If it'll come back on. Okay. So I'm in. Let me click this. There we go. Now I'm clocked in. Okay. And I can actually write that up as a couple minutes of downtime. But I'm going to say this before I go. The first 5 verses of Jeremiah chapter 10. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. This is God. This is the Lord. This is God talking. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the ways of the heathen, those that do not follow God, those that do not follow the word of the Lord, those that do not follow Christ, because the word of Christ is the word of God. Do not learn the ways of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the heathen are dismayed at them, because the stars in the heaven are made for the heathen, and are made for the people that they want to constantly find stars in the sky, and this goes along with astrology and all that stuff. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with an axe. They cut down a tree out of the forest. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born. Because, here we go, let's change the page. They cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. It is a useless thing. It is vanity for you to worship a tree. You're worshiping a tree. You're going out, you're cutting a tree out of the forest. And I don't care if you want to say that you use fake trees, you're still doing what the Bible tells you not to do. You're bringing it into your house. You're putting it up where it shouldn't be in the first place. You deck it with silver and gold. Silver and gold. Silver and gold. I think it's amazing how almost every single Christmas song has to do with something against the Bible. It's absolutely incredible. They fasten it with nails and hammers, but you're bringing this thing into your house. You're putting it up. You put a star. A star. Lucifer was a fallen star. You put a star on the top of the tree. That, or you put an angel on top of the tree. You think that just because it's a pretty little, female angel, which from what we've read, there are no female angels. But you put a little pretty angel on it, and you put all these decorations on it, and you think, oh, it's so great. And then you sing songs about it. Oh, Tannenbaum. Oh, Tannenbaum. Or, oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree. You sing songs about the thing. You do like the Who's in Whoville, where you sit around and stand around the thing in a circle. You hold hands and you sing to the tree. And then when it comes to it, you light the thing up so that you can show everybody else, because people love to show off their houses. They love to show off their houses with the amount of blow up nonsense that they have in their yards, to show how much Christmas spirit that they have. But you love to show off your tree. You love to show it off and deck it up and put all the lights on it and take pictures of it and post it on Facebook. No, that's not idolatry. That's not idolatry at all. No, that's not vanity whatsoever. And then you put presents underneath it, and I never understood why you put presents underneath the tree, until you realize you have to get down on your hands and knees in a begging position to get the presents out. You're begging to the tree. You're bending your knee to the tree. Yeah, I don't know how else to say this, man. I could go on and on and on, because it's one of those things that when you get to this point and you try to tell people and get them to understand, and if people don't want to understand, people don't want to understand. That's fine, whatever. I can't help you, but don't tell me that I'm being judgmental and I'm not doing it right, because I'm trying to warn you that what you're doing is wrong. Don't tell me that I'm the one. Because what I'm trying to tell you is this goes against what God wants for us. God wants us to be better than this. And if you don't want to believe it, fine. You don't have to believe it. But again, don't come back on me, because I'm trying. I'm trying to help you. That blood is off of my hands. Will you be judged for that? I don't know. That's going to be on him. That's going to be between you and him. If you want to take that chance, and if you want to be judged for not obeying the word of God, the word of the Father, that's going to be on you. I'm going to obey the word of the Father, and I'm not going to do this stuff. I need to move out of idolatry. That's what the book tells us to do, is we need to move away from this. So that's just on me. So I'm now officially 5 minutes over. I got to go through all these emails and see just what the heck's going on. I've got like 2 different emails that I need to do. Some training. Wonderful. Mandatory training courses, and I think these are the ones that last for like 2 hours at a time, which are absurd. Absolutely absurd. This one's due by the end of the year, so I have to do this one. So I might do it later. It says 12/31, so I could wait, I guess. They're just ridiculous. It's just these yearly meetings. The one that I took like 2 weeks ago. Like 2.5 hours. It was so boring. Just so boring. Anyways, I gotta go. Thank you guys for listening. I this whole Christmas thing. I get heated on it, man, because I'm so tired of the lies. Hey, listen, Santa Claus isn't real. Stop lying to you kids. End of discussion. Stop lying to you kids. You want to do presents, you want to do all that crap, you do whatever you want to do. I'm going to tell you right now, though, the Bible tells you not to take a tree and put it in your house, not to deck it with silver and gold, because it's the way of the heathen. Don't follow that. We could get into birthdays and stuff later. Yeah, that's a whole different subject. But Christmas, just I. What do you want me to say? Book very plainly says, don't follow this. Don't do this. A lot of people would argue with that, but what are you supposed to do? I'm going to listen to the Word of God. That's what I'm going to do. So, anyways, you guys take it easy. God bless. Take care. Read your Bible. Read your Bible. See what it says. Just see what it says. Don't let people tell you that you're doing something wrong if you're trying to preach God's word. Because I'm trying. I'm trying. If I am wrong, then that's going to be between me and the Father when it comes to be my time to be judged. But until that point, I'm going to do what the Bible tells me to do. And I'm going to preach the word to the best of my ability. And if I'm preaching wrong, then I am asking the Father to reprove me. But I have yet to be reproved on this, other than by saying that if you want to do it, if you want to do that, you have the ability to do that because that's going to be on you. All I can do is tell you that's not what he wants for us. It doesn't matter to me. I love everyone and I want everyone to be better. I really do. I don't want people to be thrown into a lake of fire for the rest of their lives at the end of this. I want everybody to be able to see this. But that's not for me. That's not for me to be able to call out. So, I can't judge on that. That's not going to be on me. You're going to have to figure that out for yourselves. So I shall talk to you guys later. See you next time. We'll argue about Christmas again, I guess. I don't want to end on this number. We gotta wait. I am not going to end on a 1 hour and 13 minutes. I will let this thing run until. Come on, 10 seconds. That's like the longest 10 seconds in the world. Don't lie to your kids. Period. Don't lie to your kids. Just don't lie to your kids. Stop lying to the kids. Start telling the truth. That's all we need. This is why people believe lies, is because they're constantly fed lies. Alright. See you guys later.